Today is day 10 of our 30-day journey with Habakkuk. And today we are talking about God's wrath and mercy. And Habakkuk 3, 7 through 15 says, I saw the tents of Cushan in distress, the dwellings of Midian in anguish. Were you angry with the rivers, Lord? Was your wrath against the streams? Did you rage against the sea when you rode your horses and your chariots to victory? You uncovered your bow, you called for many arrows, you split the earth with rivers. The mountains saw you and withered. Torrents of water swept by. The deep roared and lifted its waves on high. Sun and moon stood still in the heavens at the glint of your flying arrows, at the lightning of your flashing spear. In wrath you strode through the earth, and in anger you threshed the nations. You came out to deliver your people, to save the anointed one. You crushed the leader of the land of the wickedness. You stripped him from the head to foot. With his own spear, you pierced his head when his warriors stormed out to scatter us, gloating as though about to devour the wretched who were in hiding. You trampled the sea with your horses, churning the great waters. Habakkuk continues his vision of God's power, but not with the more focused theme. God's justice and mercy operating in harmony. He describes God's mighty acts, not just in creation, but in history, delivering his people, bringing judgment upon evil, and securing victory for righteousness. The imagery is intense: raging waters, trembling mountains, and a battlefield of divine intervention. This passage reminds us that God is not indifferent to evil. He sees oppression, he sees wickedness and suffering, and he responds. He is a warrior against injustice, a defender of the weak, and a righteous judge who will not allow evil to reign forever. Yet there is a crucial truth woven into this passage. God's judgment is never separated from his mercy. When he acts against evil, it is not out of uncontrolled rage, but out of his holy commitment to righteousness and his deep love for his people. Many of us wrestle with the idea of God's wrath. We embrace his love and mercy, but struggle with his justice. However, true love requires justice. A loving God cannot ignore sin. He cannot ignore abuse or oppression. If he turned a blind eye to evil, he would not be truly good. Habakkuk's vision makes this clear. God's justice is not about destruction for destruction's sake. It's about deliverance. His judgment is aimed at setting things right. His power is used to rescue the righteous, defend the oppressed, and defeat wickedness. This is good news for us today. In a world where injustice often seems unchecked, where evil appears to go unpunished, we can rest in the truth that God sees, God knows, and God acts. His timing may not always be what we expect, but he is never absent. At the same time, we are reminded that we too are recipients of his mercy. If justice alone were the final word, we would all be deserving of judgment. But God, in his mercy, has made a way for us to be saved through his son, Jesus Christ. He does not bring justice, he brings redemption. He does not bring chains, he sets captives free. When we face personal trials, injustices, or seasons of difficulty, it can be hard to see God's purpose. We may feel like he is different or that the wicked prosper while the righteous suffer. Habakkuk reminds us that God is always at work, even when we don't immediately see it. God will not let evil win. His justice will prevail. God is always working for our good, and his mercy sustains us. God's discipline is not meant to destroy us. It's meant to deepen our faith. So, how have you experienced God's mercy in a difficult situation? Can you trust that even in hard times, God's purpose for you is good? And it's for your good? How does knowing that God sees and acts against the unjust bring you comfort today? My prayer today is that you trust in his mercy and his justice. When you face difficulties, reach out to the Lord to help him remind you that he is at work, even when you can't see it. Ask him to teach you to rest in his truth, and that his discipline leads to deeper faith, and that his judgment is always accompanied by redemption. Lord, we thank you for your mercy that saves us. We will see you again tomorrow.